Explore the mystical origins of the golden deer statue and its significance in the lives of the beautiful girl and the handsome young man. Does the statue possess magical powers? Lila, stopping suddenly, Adrian, do you see that? Over there through the trees? Adrian, squinting, yeah, it's glowing? Let's check it out. Lila, in awe, it's breathtaking. How is it here in the middle of nowhere? Adrian, walking closer, it looks ancient. But there's something about it, almost alive. Adrian brushes his hand against the statue, and the golden deer's eyes begin to glow bright. As the beam of light illuminates the inscription, Lila and Adrian exchange glances. The air around them seems charged with an unspoken energy. Lila, nervously, unite your souls? What does that even mean? Adrian, thoughtfully, it's probably symbolic. Maybe it's about working together? Let's keep calm and figure this out. The low hum grows softer, turning into a rhythmic pulse, as if the statue is waiting for them to act. Adrian steps closer, inspecting the inscription for any additional clues, but his attention is caught by faint carvings around the base, images of two figures holding hands beneath a canopy of stars. Adrian, pointing, look at these carvings. They must mean something. Maybe we have to. Before he can finish, the ground beneath their feet trembles lightly, and the beam of light widens, encompassing both Lila and Adrian. Voice, gentle but firm, do not fear. Trust in each other, and the path shall reveal itself. Lila, reaching for Adrian's hand, I think we're supposed to do this together. Hold my hand? Adrian hesitates for a moment, but her earnest gaze reassures him. He takes her hand and instantly the glow intensifies. The forest around them seems to dissolve, replaced by a swirling golden mist. They find themselves standing in an ethereal space, surrounded by constellations that twinkle like fireflies. Lila, in awe, where are we? Is this the past? Adrian, looking around, maybe it's a vision? Or some kind of test. Ahead of them, a figure emerges, a glowing silhouette in the shape of the golden deer, now alive and regal, its antlers shimmering with star-like patterns. The deer steps forward, its voice calm yet commanding. Golden deer, you have entered the realm of memories. To unlock the secrets of the guardian, you must relive the truth of this forest. Follow the light and remember, unity is your greatest strength. Before they can ask questions, the deer's antlers emit a soft glow, and they are pulled into a memory. The golden mist fades, and they find themselves standing in a lush, ancient forest. The trees are taller than anything they've ever seen, their branches woven together like a protective canopy. Lila, pointing, Adrian, look people. Through the trees, they see a group of robed figures gathered around a glowing pool of water. One of them, an elder with a staff, speaks solemnly. Elder, echoing, the guardian was entrusted to us to protect the balance of the forest. Only when the bond of trust is forged can its true power be revealed. As Lila and Adrian watch, a sudden darkness creeps over the scene. Shadows emerge, engulfing the figures, and the pool's glow dims. The elder's voice becomes faint. Elder, the bond must not break. The vision shatters, and Lila and Adrian are back in the clearing. The golden deer statue stands before them, its eyes glowing faintly as if awaiting their next move. Lila, determined, that was no ordinary memory. It's like the forest is trying to tell us something. Adrian, nodding, the bond of trust. Maybe the guardian's power is tied to how much we trust each other. They glance at each other, realizing the weight of their journey. The deer statue hums softly again, the light around it shifting to form a faint path leading deeper into the forest. Lila, taking a deep breath, I guess this is the next step. Adrian, grinning slightly, well, no turning back now. Let's see where this takes us. Hand in hand, they follow the glowing path, ready to uncover the secrets of the guardian and the truth hidden within the forest. As they venture deeper into the forest, the glowing path seems alive, shifting and weaving as if guiding them through a maze of ancient trees. The air grows thicker, filled with the scent of moss and the faint sound of whispers, like the forest itself is speaking. Lila, whispering, do you feel that? It's like we're being watched. Adrian, glancing around, yeah. But it doesn't feel hostile, more like curious. The path leads them to a massive tree whose trunk is scarred with intricate carvings. Symbols and patterns resembling constellations swirl up its bark, and at its base is a circular stone platform engraved with the same imagery. The glowing path halts at the platform's edge. Adrian, kneeling to examine it, this must be another clue. These symbols look like they match the constellations we saw earlier. As he touches one of the carvings, the tree's bark pulses with golden light, and the voice of the golden deer echoes around them once more. Golden deer, the stars hold the story of the forest's past. Align their light to awaken the truth. Suddenly, beams of light shoot out from the carvings, forming a fragmented star map in the air above them. Some of the beams are broken or misaligned, their patterns incomplete. Lila, pointing, we need to fix the map. But how? Adrian notices a series of stone tiles embedded in the ground around the platform, each bearing a piece of the star map. Adrian, it's a puzzle. If we move these tiles into the right positions, it should realign the light. They begin working together, shifting the tiles carefully. Each movement causes the beams to shift, some connecting while others break apart. As they work, the whispers in the forest grow louder, almost like a song urging them on. Lila, after a moment, wait, try moving that one to the left. It looks like it fits with this beam. Adrian, nodding, good eye. Let's see. With a final adjustment, the last beam connects, and the star map flares to life, bathing the area in brilliant golden light. The carved symbols on the tree begin to glow, and the platform beneath them trembles. Golden deer, well done, seekers. The stars now shine as they once did, and the first truth is revealed. The golden light gathers into a single point at the tree's base, forming an image of the robed elder they saw earlier in the vision. His expression is solemn as he begins to speak. Elder's vision. Long ago, this forest was a sanctuary of harmony, where the bond between humanity and nature flourished. The guardian, a gift of the heavens, safeguarded this balance. But greed and distrust shattered that bond, plunging the forest into chaos. Only those who embody unity and trust may restore what was lost. As the elder's image fades, the tree's bark splits, revealing a hidden hollow filled with shimmering golden leaves. Among them lies an ancient medallion engraved with the same deer emblem. Lila, reaching for it, this must be important. When her fingers brush the medallion, the golden deer's voice returns, now softer, almost reverent. Golden deer, you have claimed the medallion of unity, the key to unlocking the guardian's heart. But your journey is far from over. Deeper truths lie ahead, and only through courage and trust will you prevail. The forest grows still, and the glowing path reappears, stretching further into the unknown. Adrian, holding out his hand to Lila, looks like we've got our next destination. Ready? Lila, smiling despite the nerves, ready as I'll ever be. Let's keep going. Hand in hand, they step onto the glowing path once more, the medallion clutched tightly in Lila's grasp. The forest seems to hum with approval, its ancient secrets waiting to be unveiled. Lila and Adrian exchange a glance, their determination mirrored in each other's eyes. Lila, gripping Adrian's arm, are you ready for this? Adrian, nodding, always. We've come this far. The spectral figure gestures towards the edge of the meadow, where a faint trail glimmers with golden light. The deer part gracefully, forming a path for the two. Figure, encouraging, remember the journey will test not only your strength but the purity of your bond. Trust in one another and you shall prevail. As the figure dissipates into the air, the golden statue shimmers, then solidifies into a radiant beacon, illuminating the path ahead. Adrian, starting forward, let's go. The trail winds deeper into the forest, the air growing heavier with magic. Trees with glowing leaves arch overhead, forming a natural cathedral. Strange melodic whispers echo all around. Lila, looking around in awe, it feels like the forest is alive, watching us. Adrian, frowning, or testing us. Suddenly the path splits into three. Each trail seems equally inviting, but the golden glow that guided them has vanished. A faint hum emanates from each direction. Lila, biting her lip, which way do we go? Adrian, kneeling to examine the ground, there has to be a clue. Let's think. Lila notices a cluster of flowers near the middle path, their petals shimmering faintly like the deer statue. Lila, pointing, what about these? They look like they're glowing. Adrian, nodding, it's worth a try. They take the middle path, but as they progress, the air grows colder and a dense mist begins to envelop them. Shapes flicker in the fog, whispering in unintelligible tones. Lila, shivering, Adrian, something's out there. A shadow detaches itself from the mist and coalesces into a form, a towering wolf with golden eyes. It growls low, its gaze fixed on them. Adrian, stepping in front of Lila, stay behind me. Wolf, in a deep, resonant voice, why do you walk this path? Speak your truth or turn back. Lila steps forward, despite Adrian's outstretched arm. Lila, confidently, we're here to prove our bond. To show that we can protect this forest together. The wolf's golden eyes narrow. Wolf, words are easy. Actions hold truth. Face the challenge ahead and we shall see your worth. The mist thickens and the wolf vanishes. Ahead, a massive tree with a hollowed trunk looms. The whispers grow louder, and the air pulses with an ancient rhythm. Adrian, gritting his teeth, whatever's next we'll face it. Together. Lila, smiling faintly, always. As they step closer to the tree, a bright light spills from the hollow, pulling them into the heart of the forest where their greatest trial awaits. Lila and Adrian find themselves in a vast, otherworldly space. The forest's essence seems to surround them, with roots spiraling like pillars and a canopy of glowing stars overhead. In the center stands a shimmering pool of golden liquid, its surface rippling as though alive. From the pool rises a figure, its form fluid and ever-changing, a blend of animals. Deer, wolf, eagle, and bear. It speaks with a voice that echoes with the forest's whispers. Figure, I am the spirit of the guardian. You have come to prove yourselves. This is your final test. Adrian, clenching his fists, what must we do? Spirit, the forest has many facets, strength, wisdom, compassion, and unity. To become its protectors you must embody them all. Your challenge lies within the pool. Each of you will face a trial, and only by overcoming them together will you succeed. The golden pool begins to bubble, and tendrils of light shoot out, enveloping Lila and Adrian. They're separated, each transported to a different realm. Lila's trial, the trial of compassion. Lila finds herself in a quiet glade, a wounded fawn lying in the grass. Its leg is caught in a thorny vine, and it lets out soft cries of pain. As Lila approaches, a shadowy creature emerges from the trees, a sleek, panther-like being with glowing red eyes. It circles the fawn, growling low. Panther, the weak must perish for the strong to thrive. Interfere and you will face the consequences. Lila feels fear creep into her heart but pushes it aside. Lila, firmly, the forest is about balance, not cruelty. I won't let you harm it. She steps between the panther and the fawn, her hands trembling but steady. The panther lunges and Lila braces for impact, but a golden light erupts from her chest, forcing the creature back. The vines wither, freeing the fawn, which nuzzles her before disappearing into the trees. The glade dissolves and Lila feels herself being pulled back toward the pool. Adrian stands in a clearing, surrounded by massive boulders. At the center is a pedestal with an inscription. The forest's strength lies in those who carry its burdens together. A booming voice echoes. Voice, you must raise the pedestal to unlock the path forward. But beware. The weight is not yours alone to bear. Adrian grips the pedestal and begins lifting. At first, it seems manageable, but as he hoists it higher, the weight grows unbearable. Sweat drips from his brow, his muscles straining. Suddenly, he hears Lila's voice in his mind. Lila, Adrian, don't carry it alone. Trust me, we're in this together. The memory of her words gives him strength. He closes his eyes, imagining her beside him. To his surprise, he feels a second set of hands supporting the pedestal, lightening the load. When he opens his eyes, the boulders vanish and the pedestal is raised. Adrian is pulled back to the golden pool. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon a circular clearing surrounded by towering trees. In the center was a pedestal with an inscription. To proceed, speak your truth, but beware the echoes reveal all. Lila, reading aloud, speak your truth? What does that mean? Adrian, examining the pedestal, maybe we have to answer a question honestly. Could be testing our intentions. Suddenly the air shimmered and a spectral figure appeared, its face obscured. Spectre, voice echoing, what do you fear most? Lila hesitated, her hands clenching into fists. Adrian glanced at her, his voice calm but firm. Adrian, quietly, we have to answer or we'll never move forward. Lila, whispering, I fear being alone. That everyone I care about will leave me behind. The spectre turned to Adrian, waiting. Adrian, after a pause, I fear failure. That I won't be able to protect the people I care about. The spectre nodded, and the echoes of their confessions filled the air, reverberating until they faded into silence. The trees parted, revealing a narrow path ahead. Lila, softly, that was intense. Adrian, reassuringly, it's okay. We faced it together. The next challenge was a rickety bridge spanning a deep gorge. As they stepped onto it, the wooden planks shimmered, and their reflections appeared on the surface of the boards, distorted and shifting. Adrian, frowning, Is it just me or are those reflections moving on their own? Lila, nervously, they are. Look, yours is ahead of us and mine is lagging behind. The reflections began to speak, their voices hauntingly familiar yet unsettling. Adrian's reflection, mocking, you'll never be good enough. You'll always let them down. Lila's reflection, taunting, you're weak. You can't stand on your own. Lila, angrily, that's not true. I'm stronger than you think. Adrian, firmly, ignore them. They're trying to make us doubt ourselves. As they continued, the reflections grew louder, but Adrian reached for Lila's hand, his grip steady. Together, they focused on the path ahead, and the reflections dissolved into mist. Lila, grateful, thanks. I don't think I could have done that alone. Adrian, smiling, that's why we're a team. At the end of the path, they encountered a massive stone gate covered in intricate carvings. A riddle was inscribed at the top. The key is in the bond you share. Only those united in purpose may enter. Adrian, thoughtfully, the bond we share. Maybe we have to do something together? Lila, nodding, let's try pushing it open at the same time. They placed their hands on the gate and pushed with all their strength, but it didn't budge. Suddenly, a faint glow appeared in the center of the gate, shaped like two intertwined hands. Adrian, realizing, it's asking for trust. Lila hesitated, then reached out to clasp Adrian's hand. The glow intensified, and the gate slowly creaked open, revealing a dazzling light beyond. Lila, smiling, looks like we passed the trial. Adrian, grinning, together. As they stepped through the gate, they felt a surge of warmth and confidence, knowing that their bond had been tested and proven strong. The light beyond the stone gate was blinding at first, and when it faded, Lila and Adrian found themselves in a vast, open plain under a twilight sky. The air was cool, and the horizon was dotted with glowing flowers that pulsed softly with a golden light. At the center of the plain stood a towering obelisk made of crystalline material, radiating an aura of power. Lila, awestruck, it's beautiful. But what is this place? Adrian, studying the obelisk, I think this is the heart of the trial, the place where we're supposed to prove our worth. As they approached, an ethereal voice echoed around them, deep and resonant. Voice, you have overcome fear, doubt, and discord. But the true test lies ahead. Will you face it? Adrian, resolute, we're ready. Lila, firmly, together we'll face anything. The ground trembled, and a figure emerged from the base of the obelisk. The keeper was a majestic being, its form shifting between human and beast, with eyes that glowed like twin stars. It spoke in a voice that resonated in their very bones. Keeper, to claim the obelisk's power, you must prove your unity. One of you must lead and one must follow. But choose wisely, for only trust can guide you through the storm. The keeper gestured, and the plain was suddenly engulfed in swirling winds and flickering lights. Paths appeared, twisting and overlapping like a labyrinth. Adrian, shouting over the wind, we need a plan. Lila, determined, you lead. I'll follow your instincts. Adrian hesitated, then nodded. He grabbed her hand and stepped onto the first path, the ground glowing faintly beneath their feet. The winds howled as they navigated the maze. Each turn brought new challenges, shifting paths, illusions, and moments where the way forward seemed impossible. Adrian, focused, trust me, left here. Lila, following without hesitation, got it. At one point, an illusion of Adrian appeared, urging Lila to take a different path. Illusion Adrian, calmly, he's wrong. This way is safer. Lila, scowling, nice try. I trust the real Adrian. She pressed on, finding him waiting at a crossroads, his face tense with relief when she arrived. Adrian, breathless, you didn't doubt me? Lila, smiling, not for a second. Finally, they reached the center of the maze, where a glowing orb floated above a pedestal. The keeper reappeared, its form now more human-like, and spoke. Keeper, you have proven your bond is strong, your trust unshaken. The power of the obelisk is yours to claim. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. The orb split into two smaller orbs, one floating to Adrian and the other to Lila. Keeper, these will grant you strength, but their true power lies in your unity. Do not let division weaken you. Adrian, taking the orb, we won't. Lila, taking hers, together we're unstoppable. The keeper nodded, and the maze dissolved, leaving them back on the path they had first entered. The obelisk stood behind them, now dormant but no less magnificent. Adrian and Lila stood in silence, their newfound power humming softly in their hands. Lila, breaking the silence, so, what now? Adrian, Smiling, now we figure out what this power means, and what we're meant to do with it. Lila, grinning, whatever it is, I'm glad we'll face it together. With renewed determination, they set off down the path, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them in the unknown lands ahead. As the golden light fades, Lila and her companion Aaron find themselves changed. Their hands glow faintly with shimmering patterns, resembling ancient runes of the forest. They feel a newfound connection with the land. The trees hum with life, the breeze whispers secrets, and the lake seems to pulse with energy. Lila, marveling, what is this? Aaron, examining his hands, it's like we're part of the forest now. The golden deer watches them with a serene gaze, its antlers now radiating an ever-present golden glow. Golden deer, calmly, you are now the keepers of the forest. Through your bond you will feel its joys and its sorrows. If danger arises you will know. A ripple disturbs the lake's surface, and from it emerges a small, crystal-clear orb floating toward them. Golden deer, take this orb of harmony. It will guide you in times of need, but use it wisely. The balance of the forest is fragile, and you must learn to protect it, not control it. Lila carefully cradles the orb, its surface warm to the touch. Inside, it swirls with golden and green hues as if alive. After the golden deer vanishes into the mist, Lila and Aaron notice the forest has subtly changed. The once dim paths are now illuminated by bioluminescent plants, and the creatures of the forest seem to regard them with a newfound reverence. Aaron, thoughtfully, the forest feels alive in a way it didn't before. Lila, nodding, we're connected to it now. But what did the deer mean by danger? Their question is soon answered. As they make their way back toward the village at the forest's edge, they hear distant, unnatural sounds machines. They find a group of loggers at the forest boundary, armed with chainsaws and heavy machinery. A man in a business suit oversees them, his eyes cold and calculating. Aaron, alarmed, they're going to destroy everything. Lila places a hand on his arm, her expression firm. Lila, not if we stop them. Once the threat is gone, the forest seems to breathe a sigh of relief. Flowers bloom where the machines had tread, and the air feels lighter. The orb pulses softly in Lila's hands and a gentle voice fills their minds. It is the golden deer's voice once more. Golden deer, reassuring, you have taken your first step as keepers. Remember, the forest is not just yours to protect. It will also protect you. Lila and Aaron exchange a determined look. Lila, resolute, will make sure its story is never forgotten. Hand in hand, they walk deeper into the forest, ready to embrace their new destiny. As Lila and Adrian descend the mountain, the forest around them feels quieter yet more vibrant. Every rustling leaf and chirping bird carries a strange familiarity, as if the forest itself is bidding them farewell. Lila, glancing back, it feels like we're leaving something behind. Adrian, thoughtfully, or taking something with us. The sunset deepens into twilight, painting the landscape with hues of gold and violet. When they finally reach the base of the mountain, they find the path diverging, one leading to their village, the other back into the forest's depths. Adrian, pausing, which way now? Before Lila can answer, a soft, melodic sound drifts through the air, as if the forest is calling them back. But the village lights twinkle in the distance, a reminder of home and responsibilities. Lila, hesitant, we've changed, but has the village? Will they understand what we've seen? Adrian, firmly, if they don't, we'll make them understand. The forest gave us a gift and it's our turn to share it. When Lila and Adrian arrive in the village, they're met with mixed reactions. Friends and neighbors greet them warmly, relieved they've returned after days of absence, but their tales of the golden deer and the glowing runes are met with skepticism. Elder Mira, skeptical, stories of the forest are just that, stories. You're young with vivid imaginations. Lila, frustrated, it wasn't just a story. The forest is alive and it needs us to protect it. Adrian, calmly, we saw what happens when people don't respect it. The machines, the destruction, it's real. The villagers murmur among themselves. Some nod in agreement, recalling their own observations of dwindling wildlife and withering plants. Others shake their heads, dismissing it as fantasy. Elder Mira, sighing, if what you say is true, prove it. Show us this bond you claim to have with the forest. The next day, Lila and Adrian lead the villagers to the forest's edge. At first, everything seems ordinary: trees swaying in the breeze, birds flitting about. Villager, whispering, it's just the same as always. But when Lila steps forward, holding the orb of harmony, the forest responds. The trees seem to lean toward her, their leaves shimmering with golden light. Flowers bloom along their path, and a deer, a real one, with faint golden hues emerges from the underbrush. The villagers gasp, some dropping to their knees in awe. Elder Mira, softly, perhaps the stories were true after all. With the villagers now believers, Lila and Adrian begin teaching them about the forest's importance. Together they establish new traditions, replanting trees, creating protected areas for wildlife, and sharing the forest stories with future generations. The Orb of Harmony becomes a symbol of their unity, passed from Lila and Adrian to trusted villagers as they take turns safeguarding the forest. But the bond Lila and Adrian share with the forest remains unique. They continue to feel its whispers, its joys and its pains. One evening, as they sit beneath the ancient oak tree in the clearing, the forest speaks to them once more. Golden Deer's voice, gentle, you have done well, but the journey is far from over. Beyond these woods, others face the same struggles. Will you carry this legacy further? Lila and Adrian exchange a glance, their resolve unshaken. Lila, smiling, the world is vast but our bond is strong. We'll go wherever the forest needs us. As the stars begin to twinkle overhead, the forest hums with approval. Their journey, it seems, is only beginning. The days pass peacefully in the village, and Lila and Adrian grow into their roles as guardians of the forest. They teach the villagers about sustainable living, create new rituals to honor the land, and help nurture the connection between nature and the community. However, there is a restlessness in their hearts, a sense that the forest's calling extends beyond their borders. One night, as they sit on the edge of the lake, gazing at the moon's reflection on the water, the golden glow of the Orb of Harmony pulses with urgency. Adrian, looking at the orb, it's calling us again. Lila, whispering, to where? Before Adrian can answer, a soft wind stirs, and the golden light from the orb intensifies, swirling in the air. It forms into the shape of the golden deer, shimmering with ethereal radiance. Golden deer, calmly, the balance of nature is delicate, and the forest story must spread beyond your village. There are others who need guidance just as you once did. Lila stands, her heart racing. Lila, determined, we won't ignore the call. We'll help them. Adrian, nodding, wherever the forest leads us. The next morning, Lila and Adrian set out, leaving the village behind for the first time in months. The road leads them toward the northern mountains, where rumors speak of a village plagued by endless drought, with crops failing and rivers running dry. As they travel, they notice changes in the landscape. The once lush fields and forests are becoming sparse, the soil cracked and parched. Lila, concerned, this doesn't feel right. The land is suffering. Adrian, looking around, it's as if something's draining the life from it. The Orb of Harmony grows warm in Lila's hands, and the golden light begins to flicker, pointing them toward a distant valley nestled between the mountains. As they near the valley's entrance, they find the land barren, save for a few twisted, leafless trees. At the center of the valley, an old temple stands in ruins, its walls covered in strange symbols. Lila, shocked, this was once a place of power. I can feel it. Adrian, grimly, but it's been corrupted. Inside the temple, they find remnants of an ancient civilization, stone carvings of animals and plants, once vibrant and full of life, now worn and faded. At the altar, they find a forgotten relic, similar to the Orb of Harmony, but twisted in appearance. It pulses with a dark energy, a stark contrast to the golden glow of their own. Lila, shivering, this feels wrong. Adrian, worried, this is the source. The land's suffering is connected to this relic. Suddenly, the ground trembles and the relic's dark light expands, engulfing the room. Figures begin to emerge from the shadows, wraith-like beings, their eyes glowing with a ghostly green light. Lila, stepping forward firmly, we will not let this darkness take root here. As she steps closer to the relic, the Orb of Harmony in her hand glows brighter, its golden light pushing back the shadows. The wraiths hiss and recoil, but one of them steps forward, a tall, imposing figure with a crown of twisted vines. Wraith leader, coldly, you dare to challenge the old ways? The power of the earth belongs to those who control it. Adrian, resolutely, the power of the earth belongs to everyone. It is not a tool to be wielded, but a force to be protected. The golden deer's voice echoes in their minds, urging them to be bold. Together, Lila and Adrian raise the Orb of Harmony toward the dark relic. The two energies clash, golden light against dark, as a wave of power radiates out from the temple. The wraiths screech in fury, but their form begins to dissolve, unable to withstand the purity of the light. Finally, with one last surge of energy, Lila and Adrian channel the full strength of the forest's bond into the relic. The dark light vanishes and the relic crumbles into dust, its power shattered. As the last remnants of darkness fade, the valley begins to heal. The dry earth cracks open, allowing fresh water to flow once more. Greenery sprouts from the ground, and the air feels thick with life. The wraiths, now freed from their corruption, fade into the winds, leaving behind only the memory of their dark reign. Lila, breathing in the fresh air, it's beautiful again. Adrian, smiling, we've done it. The orb of harmony pulses one last time, its golden light enveloping the valley. A new sense of peace settles over the land. Golden Deer's voice, gentle, you have restored balance here, but the journey continues. There are more places that need you, more hearts that must awaken to the forest's wisdom. Lila, nodding, we're ready. Adrian, grinning, we've only just begun. As they leave the restored valley behind, the landscape begins to thrive once more. The forest calls them forward, guiding them toward the next chapter of their journey, where new challenges and new discoveries await.